Good day, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. As I always come, I'm so excited again every day that God allowed Himself to open up my eyes. I'm so excited. I want to say thank you for coming on to another segment of Don't Tell Me You Can't Do It. I always like to give thanks to all of my viewers that's under the sound of my voice for every week supporting, coming in, and please tag, share, and like all of my podcasts. Don't Tell Me You Can't Do It. We just changing minds to change directions, and the purpose of our podcast is determination, effort, and faith. You gotta have faith, gotta have effort, and you gotta have determination. And to change your mind, to change your direction for success in any endeavor in life. So I want to say always be thankful, be grateful. Let's continue to pray for the people that's less fortunate than us. Pray for the people over there in Ukraine and over there in Russia. Let's pray for them for this war at this time, and all of the people that's facing difficult times at this moment, whether it could be a lost job, lost family member, found some bad news, family, children, or whatever. Let's pray for one another. So I always like to take time out to say thank you. Just giving God thanks and being grateful for everything in life. So today our segment will be on something that is basically part of our daily life. It's basically the world. Basically is governed by, we work so hard for it. It's just a vehicle in so many ways. It's very powerful, but it's not powerful in the sight of God. But it's powerful to man because this is our vehicle for success, healthy living, and being able to live a productive life. And that's money, money, money. So we're going to talk about finances today. I'm your girl, Lori Hadley Davis, CEO, founder, author, and oh my God, I got so many hats behind my on my head and behind me and in front of me that I just give thanks to God. But we're going to come today talking about finances. And I've done a lot of research these last couple of days talking about finances. I basically Googled and saw what Google said, saw what the Webster Dictionary said, saw what basically the social media said. And basically everybody got different pointers and different point of views, but we all got one thing in common, that is something that's needed. That in some people it could be a want because they want more of it, but in all of our lives, money is a major necessity. And people have a cliche, money is the root to all evil. And I always correct people when they say that, because money is not the root to all evil, it's the love of it. Money is not evil, it's the people that controls the money. Money is never, should be taken out of character, because that's our vehicle for what we do every day. So we're going to talk about finances. And just before my podcast, I was talking to my producers, Charlie and Sakibia, and we was talking about finances from, you could look at it from a spiritual point of view, you could look at it from a natural point of view. No matter what point of view you talk about it from, when we were coming up, we didn't talk about finances, basically how to save money, how to put away for a rainy day. We was not taught credit. We was never taught that. So, and speaking with Sakivia, she teach out to the high school financial literacy. And basically she's one of the first ever that I've known for a teacher to have a class to talk about financial literacy at a very young age. I felt like that was so powerful, because I think a lot of times if we taught that younger, when we get into adulthood and go to college, a lot of us wouldn't make the mistakes, because a lot of times we go to college and we get a lot of student loans, and them colleges put us in great big debt. And sometimes people be grown and almost dead, but they still not paying off these student loans. And sometimes they make debt and they never get the degree. And some people that got the degree, They got so much financial responsibility from student loan. So I think if we taught financial literacy at a very young age, we will be phenomenal. And of course, this month is Financial Literacy Month. This is April, and this whole month is about finances and literacy, learning and teaching and all of that. So I want to start off basically to my audience and tell them that of course, I'm in my 50s, so when I was younger, and I know a lot of people could contest this under the sound of my voice, that we was not taught how to handle money. Basically, coming up, it was just survival. Go out there, finish school, go to college, go to the military, go get a trade, and get married, have a family, and raise your family, and just make that money. If you're making enough to pay your bill, they consider that what was good. They didn't never teach us how to manage, how to maintain, how to go forward. It's just the traditional way of doing things. And as we know today, tradition is not really working these days. To me, it's not really, I mean, we could go back on it, but basically the way the world is today with technology and everything, tradition is kind of like taking us in a different direction. So a lot of us, we need to learn how to handle our money. And I think it's very good, and that's something I kind of like put into my children, but I didn't do it when they were young, because I was chasing the bag, just like how y'all will say chasing the bag. I was chasing money, success, trying to make it. So I taught them, but I taught them when they became adults. So I want to basically talk about when your children is young. A lot of times when we come up, we want to do you see on the commercials, a college fund. Our parents try to put up a college fund. A lot of times in black families, we just really is not blessed to have that, because mama them was just trying to keep a roof over our head, robbing Petey to pay Paul to bring us up. So all we saw them do is work and pay bills. They never really set us down and told us, okay, when you start working, you take this amount of money, and like tradition, you pay your tithe, you pay yourself, you take your bills, and you do what you need to do. But you need to always put up something for a rainy day. Back in the day, mama them used to say, put something away for a rainy day. But then when you talk about that, the people say, what I'm gonna put up? I ain't got nothing to put up. So how I'm gonna put up for a rainy day? Because I got more bills than I make. I got more financial responsibilities than I got to work 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. So when you talk about saving, they looking at you like, are you really with that? So a lot of times people kind of shy away from talking about finances or trying to save or trying to put everything together to be able to save. So I come to tell y'all about a little bit great things about finances. I think when it comes to finances and trying to put things in order, I think a lot of us need to be taught that. And I think we need to sit down and have conversation with our children at a young age, even the teenage, like getting prepaid credit cards or getting them bank accounts to put away when they start getting summer jobs, or they start, because it'll be able to teach them, like, if you save, you could buy this for yourself. I know half of y'all mothers under the sound of my voice, if your kids want you to buy something that's expensive, they'll use your money. But then if they save the money, they not gonna take their money and buy what they ask you to buy, because they gonna say, if I do that, I'm gonna be broke. So at that point, you could teach them how to manage money, how to, if they got little summer jobs or they got jobs, okay, if you made this amount of money, put something away for in a little savings account. And I go into a lot of teenage facilities, and they always say they can't save no money. Oh, it's easy, Miss Davis, for you to talk because you got money, but I didn't get here like this. What I'm telling you is how I got here, because I had to learn how to save and adjust myself and be committed and diligent into putting away money. So when I say you need to save, a lot of us, we don't have a whole lot to save. But if you got a job, if you could save $20 a week or $20 every 2 weeks, it's not a lot when you look at it in the beginning, but long term, $20 could add up. It may not be a lot in the beginning. So what I do, I tell people to take productive measures. When I say productive measures, start with a little bit. Little become much when you be consistent with it. It do not become much if you're not consistent with it. And then a lot of time as teenagers, when we get ready to go to college, we get in a lot of credit card debt. It's the wave now. Everybody getting credit cards. Everybody getting this. I'm an advocate because I do think you need credit to live in this world. But I think credit need to be taught to people because 99%, I say from 90 to 98% of college students, they fall into bad debt when they go to college with credit. And then when they come out, they got to revamp themselves. So I think credit should be taught too. Credit is a wonderful thing, but you have to be a good steward over credit and know that you can't just get credit because you can. You have to get credit because it's a vehicle to help you to do better in some situations. And you should have a credit limit, meaning that you shouldn't just go get all this credit that you know you can't pay for. And then when the bills come, you can't pay for. And that's because a lot of times we wasn't taught that. And as a young woman, I was not taught that. I saw my mama have good credit. I saw her work hard, but I wasn't taught that. So I became a product of society, like a lot of you guys. You guys are a product of society. You got bad credit and you start off. That's why you can't get no car, you can't get no house, you can't get no credit card. And then some of our attitudes are just as bad as our credit. Well, I ain't got the money to pay it, so I ain't gonna pay it. But the good thing about it is, if you said that with your mouth, if you knew you couldn't afford to pay the credit, you shouldn't get it. I mean, so I think a lot of that should be taught, and it wasn't taught to us about saving money, credit, and all of that. But the good thing about it is, you're never too old to change the situation when it comes to saving. You're never too old to fix your credit. There's so many things you could do to change the situation, but I want to just say to you, it is possible to save, and it's just like everything in our life. If we don't want to do it, we're going to make excuses while we're doing it. And you're looking at saving big money instead of starting off saving small amount of money. And then, like I tell my kids, every time you get paid, you should pay yourself a little something. People say all the time, you pay God is 10%. After you pay God is 10%, you should pay yourself and then pay your bill. Because if you're doing things the right way and you living within your means, you wouldn't have a problem with adjusting to be able to put a little bit away. And when I say put away something for a savings, I didn't mean put it away and then next week, okay, oh, I need this to buy a pair of shoes, I need this to buy a pair of shirts. You have to get to the point when you start saving money and start preparing yourself, you have to have a made up mind. And a lot of us need to be taught that. And coming up in this day and age, all we see is fast making money. We see credit, and credit it could be self-destructive. If you don't manage your credit right, it could self-destruct you. How it could self-destruct you? A lot of times y'all buying cars at 18, 20, 25% interest rate because your credit bad. And why your credit bad? Because you make bad decisions. And it's okay because, like I say, 98% of the Americans have been able to deal with having bad credit. But my problem is don't stay there. So I was so surprised that it's in the school system now, at least at Miss Foster's school, where they teach financial literacy. They teach you how to handle money. They teach you how to pay bills. They teach you how to save money. And they teach you how to be productive so when you get a job, you can know how to do that. And I think that's so rewarding. I do think it should start at home. But one thing, when I say that, I think it should start at home. But some of us, some parents are in the same boat. They don't know how to save. They never had financial coaching. They never had none of this. And so they can't teach their kids that. Because if I was never taught that and I never experienced that, how am I teach my kids that? But there's so many outlets. Like when I was looking up finances, it was teaching me about tips to talk to young adults about how to put away, how to save. And there's no amount of money that you need to save to get to no point. If you have a goal that you may say in 2 years, I want to buy me a car, you could just put little, little, little. Little things become big things if you put it away properly and don't touch it. This should be, when you go open up a bank account, most of the institutions have savings account. I'm going to take $20 of my check that when it go direct deposit, I ain't even going to touch that. And it's about training your mind. Everything you do in life, you got to train your mind that this is the setup that I'm going to do to make myself better. And another thing with finances is your credit. I mean, we have to know that credit is money. I mean, credit is money. I don't care where you go. Credit is the vehicle. When people buy a house, the first thing they checking is your credit, because your credit is going to tell the bank if they're going to loan you this money to buy this house or buy this car. And the funniest thing, that when the bank do that, your interest rate is determined on your credit score, not your credit. It's your credit score. Your credit score is good, you get a good interest rate. Your credit score is mess, you're going to get a high interest rate. Not saying you're not going to get the car, not saying you're going to get the house, but you're going to be buying it, whatever you're trying to buy, you're going to be buying it twice with bad credit. So credit, to me, I always tell people credit is money. So it's so many levels to money. The level that I'm on now, I ain't gonna go a step ahead of myself because I'm on a whole different horse. I just think that we need to start getting ourselves financially prepared. We see basically what's going on in the world today. Let's teach our children better handling finances. Yes, it's all good with the clothes, the jewelry, driving in a nice fancy car, having a nice house and all that. But after all that is gone, what you sitting down working with? You should never buy anything that you know you can't afford to keep up with the Joneses. You should always try to put away something. Don't make excuses why you can't save. Like all the time people say to me when I talk to kids, oh, I can't save. You just defeated yourself out of that. You can save. It could just be a little bit. That money you go to Burger King with, that money you go to the mall with, that money you may go buy a piece of jewelry with, whatever the cost of the matter is, if it was not a need for food, shelter, and to keep a roof over your head, food on your table, and clothes on your back, then outside of that, that's a want. So if you could just put those things aside for a minute and then take care of your necessities, you could be able to put away, and you could start your kids off with that. Open up, it's a green light card. I basically got my grandchildren, and I was talking to my daughter about it. Get a green light credit card. It puts money on the credit card, and it teaches young kids how to save and put their money on the credit card. And it starts as very young with parents teaching their kids. So for us, older generation, we didn't have it. We survived, but we was never taught that. So now we're in a generation now where you could teach your kids this. You could show them. You could even sit down with this, and don't make it seem like it's just I want. Teach them how to make money, because one thing about it is we're not going to be around always. Me as a parent, you as a parent, you're not going to be around always. But if we put good tools inside of them when it comes to finances, because basically money, basically in a vehicle, it rules everything. You could talk it, you could say it or whatever. Wherever you go, people are looking at two things: how much money you got and what your credit look like. And if you're not taught in those two principal things when it comes to finances, people looking at you like, really? You don't have a voice for yourself. When people see you got a bank account on the negative, you can't keep a banking account, your credit bad, that shows you don't have any financial direction. You don't know what direction you're going in. So I would first start up to tell people to open up savings account, start off with a little bit, and as you gain, even like businesses, and I use my business as success, a lot of businesses fail because they don't have any financial direction. When they start into business, they making money, but even in having a business, you have to put away, because you got vendors to pay. You got businesses that really does not even pay their vendors. They make the money in, and when it's time to pay the people, they ain't got the money. Why? Because they don't have any financial direction. Because when you come in and start a business, you FP&L is a bill. The water bill is a bill. The rent of the mortgage people is a bill. Employees are a bill. I mean, whatever tools you're using to run your business, that needs to be paid. All these vehicles need to be done. And if you're not a good steward over money or not budgeting and having some financial direction, sooner or later, you're going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then you ain't going to have no money to pay nobody. And that business is going to become a struggle. That's why a lot of people, when they in the business, they go bankrupt, or they don't be open long, or they just didn't make financial decisions. And I'm one making millions, and I have made some bad financial decisions, and I was able to look back and say, I could have did that a little differently. But what helped me so much, because I always had a cushion, what grandmama them call a cushion. I always had a cushion. I always had a saving. And I don't make money to go spend money. And that's what I always tell people. You do not make money to go spend money. You pay yourself and you spend what you pay yourself. You don't take the business money and go spend. You got to take the business money, pay yourself or pay everybody else, put the savings on the side, and then you able to maneuver from there. When you take what you make and you go spend it, you put yourself in a bad direction. So a lot of people in business, they have made bad financial decisions like that. And I just come naked and raw. I've made bad business decisions, but it just didn't hurt me, because I've always had the vehicle to say, whatever I make, I'm going to put away. So we need to learn from people. A lot of times when people make a lot of money, they say, go to these places and let them put your money in financial places like you could call Merrill Lynch, and they do investments. You go to the bank, they do investments. And a lot of times, basically, these people are making money off of you putting your money into their companies. And what you could balance and budget your own money if you just get in the right place and start putting in your head that I need to change the way I handle my money. I need to save. And I always go back to this old saying, and a lot of people say I get spiritual when I say it, but it was back in the days the Lord told them that it was going to be a famine in the land. He basically pre-warned them to put up, because when the famine come, it was going to just self-destruct, and it was going to hurt a lot of people. And a lot of people heed to God's warning with that, and then there was a lot of people that didn't heed to God's warning. And the people that heeded the God warning, they was okay. And the people that didn't, they lynched off the other people, and then some of them just went on with the famine. And I always use that in my life. If you put away, you may not be in the best position, but you'll be in a good position. So saving is important, and we need to stop making excuses. And because we wasn't taught that, that don't mean we still can't do it. I wasn't taught to save, but I just learned it because God was just showing me avenues. I learned it that I need to put away, because guess what? This month my business doing great. I'm making $100,000, $200,000, but then next month I may just make $75,000. I can't count that every month gonna be the same. That's in any business. So guess what? If I put away when the month is great, I'm always gonna have an overage, because even if the month is not that great, I always got the cushion that I always save from all the other months. So we need to put away. We need to kind of like structure our credit. And it's so many people out here, they fixing credit. Some of them doing it good. Some of them is just a money thing. But get up under somebody that can really do some good credit counseling to help you in the direction. But my thing, I'm just against people that tell people to fix their credit and get in a whole lot of debt. Credit is not used to get a whole lot of it. You should not maximize credit when you know you can't afford it. I'm going out there getting a $100,000 credit card, but I can't even pay it. Like, I just got my credit straight. I'm back here because sooner or later I'm gonna be struggling to pay that, and then I'm back, messed up my credit again. So I think a lot of times with these credit repair places, They need to be educating people on the use of credit, not only to fix your credit, but how to maintain it and how to do well with it. And I see a lot of credit, and I go to just giggling to myself because they teaching people the wrong concept. I don't care who you are. Credit could be reestablished for anybody that done had bad credit. But then when you reestablish, you got to change this. If you got the same mentality that you had when your credit was bad and you get it fixed and you go with that same mentality, what's going to change with you? So people want to make millions of dollars and they sit up there and be for people that's got nice things out of life and doing nice things. You don't know what they did financially, what financial vehicle they used. That's why I tell people all the time, it's structure in everything. But you got to believe you could do it. Save money, put away. I don't care how much money it is. You could put away $20. Ain't nobody under the sound of my voice could tell me they can't put away $20. You go to McDonald's, you go to Burger King, you go to the mall, you go out to eat. Just take all them times you go to Starbucks in the morning, you get Starbucks $10. You could put away some money. You owe yourself that when you don't work 40, 60, 70 hours a week. You owe yourself that. So we need to start saving, and we need to get up under some people that has financial support where they could teach you how to manage, because a lot of us need money managing skills. I had Hard Knocks University. That's what helped me. But I could save $1, but ain't nobody got no money. And Hard Knocks taught me that because it showed me that saving became very rewarding to me. And then when back in the days, I didn't really value credit. Now I value my credit like my heartbeat. I always promise God, you give me good credit, I'm gonna be thankful, because those gifts that God give us, we grateful to the point that we not gonna repeat having bad credit, or we not gonna repeat having financial failure. Now that's not saying no matter how much we know, we not gonna fall into financial deficit. But if you fall into that, it shouldn't be because you didn't make good choices with money and how to save and how to do stuff. So when I opened up my business, July will be 14 years ago, I was always under the direction, whatever I make, I'm gonna put away, I'm gonna pay the people I'm gonna pay, and I'm gonna save. So I don't know what the next month gonna bring. I don't know what this week gonna bring. But if you got something saved, you could always have something that you could say, it could help me if I need it. And a savings should be that. Even if you paid all your bills, you shouldn't go there and say, okay, I saved this, I need to pull this. No, that should be like an emergency thing. And I think we need to save. I think we need to start getting our credit right. I think we need to get up under somebody that could counsel us about these areas, because at the end of the day, money is the vehicle for everybody. Everybody want it. Everybody need it. Everybody chasing it. The young people call it chasing the bag. Is all of that could be your life dream, to be able to financially be dependent. Everybody want to be financially dependent. Every single body. But it's growth to that. Now, I'm in a level of my life where I allow my money to work for me and I don't work for my money. But it's a steps to that. So I don't want to go ahead with nobody. I always tell people I want my money to work for me and I don't work so hard. Meaning that if I got this money, I'm going to invest it in the right places where the money could come back to me triple fold. I'm at a point in my life I do a lot of great investments that the money could turn over to me. So credit and money is hand in hand. And I just want everybody under the sound of my voice, don't tell me you can't do it by saving no money. You can't budget your money. You can't fix your credit. You can't do this. If you got health and strength and you working for yourself or on somebody's job, you owe it to yourself to be able to put away money to save. And it starts right there, changing your mind. I can do it. I want all of y'all under the sound of my voice, if I could just get 50 of y'all to put away $20 every pay period, I guarantee you I can have this talk again. And y'all imagine what you say. If you get paid once a week, that's $80, that's $100. Just imagine $100 in 12 months, what that'll do. And you would be surprised. You got to set goals. I'm going to put this away and I ain't going to touch this. And then you would be surprised. You'll look back and say, wow, I did that. I did that. That's what I said to myself when I opened up the business. I was reaching to make $100,000. I literally, my first time making $100,000, I ran around the funeral home and I was screaming, thanking God. They was looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Because that was a goal I set for myself, to save $100,000. And I did it. Mindset, changing direction. Then I turned around when I opened up the funeral home, credit wasn't where I wanted. I said, I want to have a $700, $800 beacon score. I set out to do that. It's all about setting goals. And when you set goals, making principles. And a lot of us African American people, honestly, we was not taught that. We was taught survival. Pay your bills and survive. That's it. Nobody came, mama them, daddy them, grandmama them, big mama them. Nobody taught us to say. The only thing they used to say, don't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. Put up for a rainy day, but they never sat down and say, you need to do A, B, C, D. Why? Because they didn't know. But we got so many open doors with social media and the internet. It could teach us so much, but we have to apply it to our life. And what I feel like, we need to change our mind and change our direction. We can do it. People that's under the sound of my voice, I didn't just get here. Hard knocks, down, fall. But one thing I taught myself, I won't repeat it. If I made a bad investment, I made a bad investment like 5 years ago. It costed me some money. It hurt me. Now, did I have the money to make that kind of mistake? Yes, I did, but I didn't want it to go toward that mistake, and it cost me. So what I did was I got up, I learned from it. Let's go forward. I won't make it again. And I teach people that because a lot of times we're in the situation because we don't read. With me, when I made my mistake, I did not read. I did not read the contract. I went on verbal word, and I made a bad financial decision. Why? Because I just wanted it. And that's how we do. When we want something, we just go for it, and we don't take time to read, to see what the black and white say. Because at the end of the day, when I failed in my endeavor, I went back and looked at the contract and I saw where I made the mistake, when it could have just took me 2 minutes to read that before. So it cost me. My ignorance of not reading cost me $50,000. It literally cost me that. And I was so disappointed, and I had a lady at the bank tell me, okay, you lost it, don't stay there. That's exactly what she said. You lost it, don't stay there. She said, not too many people could have failed like that and lost it and stayed there. Get back up and learn from it. Now, I don't put my hand caught on nothing unless I read it first. I read it. I have 2 or 3 other people to read it. I have my attorney to read it. I have everybody to read it, because we make bad financial decisions. And that's how a lot of people get ripped for money. I learned one thing about Oprah. She don't even want to sign her checks. I say, wow, that's powerful. Because I know that lady there, she's a billionaire. I mean, just imagine she take our time to sign her own check. So there's a lot of things behind finances, but I want to tell y'all, you can save and set up a better future for yourself. And you need to sit down with your kids. And when you home, okay, this is what mom and daddy make. And don't use paper money, use real money, and let them see, okay, for this week, this what mama made, this what daddy made. This is the light bill. This is the mortgage. This is the phone bill. This is this. This is what we got left. And you have to teach your children from the beginning. And trust me, that's how they learn. We make a lot of mistakes about buying them things, but then when they get their money, they won't buy what they asking you to buy because it's too much. They want you to buy the expensive stuff, but they ain't gonna use their own money. And that's the reason that's like that, because we haven't taught them the importance of money. We haven't taught them the importance of, I can work hard for it and buy it for you, but when you work hard for yourself, you ain't gonna buy it for yourself. And that's because we didn't challenge our kids on finances. So I think that should be something that we continuously bring up, because finance is going, basically money going to rule everything. from the beginning to the end of time, because that is our vehicle of making it. That's how we pay our bills. That's how we buy houses. That's how we buy cars. That's how we buy clothes. Money is behind everything that we do. So I think we need to just get a little bit more wiser and smarter, and don't tell you can't do it. There's so many things. I mean, when people look at me, I just say, trust me, I didn't have a roadmap to it. Failure gave me the roadmap, because he was going to sink me or I was going to get up and learn it. And I learned it the hard way. And now I'm a whiz at it when it comes to being financially stable and doing what I need to do. And when a rainy day comes, God has put me in a position where I put away and I'm able to survive and able to live the successful life that God has blessed me to live. And it's because I made good financial decisions. So if anybody under the sound of my voice got any questions for me, I want to get on here and talk a little bit about finances. Y'all want to make a whole lot of money? Start with training your mind. Start saving. Start putting away. Start making good decisions. Stop making excuses. Oh, my credit bad. And the dumbest thing I heard, I don't need no credit. When I hear people say that, I be like, oh my God. Oh my God. The richest people use credit. You know how rich people use credit? They use the bank money and say they own money. Don't say I didn't give y'all that nugget. Rich people don't use their money. Please understand that. You're looking at somebody that's telling you that. We don't use our money. We use the bank money to make more money. And that probably went over some of y'all head. Let me tell you how it goes. We go to the bank with our good credit, and we could be having $1 million sitting in the bank. We go to the bank with $1 million, $700, $800 beacon scope. We need $500, $2 million, $3 million, but we already sitting with maybe close to $1 million in the bank. We go to the bank. I need $3 million. Bank look at our credit. Don't look at what we got in the bank. They're looking at our credit. They're looking at our business. If our business could support that, they give it to us. That money we had in the savings was never touched. We use our credit to make money. So that's when I hear people say they don't need no credit. Excuse me, I say that's why you ain't got nothing. Because your mentality of thinking is off. You need credit, because credit is very important. Now, the misuse of credit, you got to be taught that. But everybody needs credit, because rich people do not use their own money. They use the bank money. And y'all need to understand that. But that was just a nugget to give y'all, to let y'all know when y'all look at successful people, y'all looking at everything they earned or might have made. That ain't how it go. So y'all got to know, put away, get credit fixed, start making good investments and paying yourself. And I always tell people, you never could be God-given no matter how you could try. Always, give God something. Give God his 10th. And it could be paid in your time, talent, and resources. Don't let nobody else tell you. When you're a blessing to somebody else, God gonna bless you. It don't necessarily have to you be sitting up in no church. Just do something when you financially able and you could do it. Bless somebody else, so it could be God will send that back tripled over to you. It's not just sitting up under the church walls. It's coming out the church walls and doing something good for somebody. So we need to kind of like get some things in order. And I had a little bit of tips for y'all. I've been doing a lot of research. And one of the tips was, it was like 8 tips. One of them was learning self-control. And they saying learning self-control mean over your own personal finances. You need self-control. You need to know how to handle your own finances. One of the second was controlling your financial future. Putting it in your hands and not in nobody else's hands. That's learning how to manage your money. Basically, like people got vision boards. Get a financial board. Where would you like to be in 2 years? Where would you like to be in 5 years? Okay, know where your money goes. If you made $1,000, I could sit down and tell you everywhere my money went from month to month. You should know. If somewhere in there, if you don't spend money and you don't know where this went or where this was allocated, you're not being a good steward. Start an emergency fund. You don't know when mama gonna get sick or children gonna get sick. You start an emergency fund. Start saving for retirement. Somebody like me, people work on a job 30, 40 years. A lot of people that's working on the job, they don't really have to worry about that because they got retirement. Instead of people that's self-employed, they need to worry about that. And get a good grip on handling your money from paycheck to paycheck and knowing where things going, where it's allocated. Get a grip on your taxes, knowing where your taxes, and guard your health. Because basically, when they say guard your health, basically having health insurance, life insurance, all those are vehicles, that's money too. So those are important things we need to look at. And protect your wealth. When you kind of like did some great things in life, put away money, bought a home, bought a car, you gotta protect it. You gotta, when you say protect it, keep insurance on it. Take care of it so it could, kind of outlive you instead of you outliving it. So those are some goals that we got to look at. But I think when we got younger kids, my kids are grown, everybody that's under the sound of my voice, if you got young kids, start teaching younger people how to earn money the honest way and to put away. Because our kids today, they got this fast money mentality. They want to make it fast. That's why a lot of them don't want to work. They don't want to work for minimum wages. They want to get up and I don't know why they think this rich thing is quick and fixed. Success is a never-ending story to success. Once you accomplish one goal, you want to do something else. Success is not stagnant. Like, I've reached it, I'm here. It don't work like that. So I think that the younger generation, our mentality and the mindset, we want to make quick money. We want microwave money. Everything is microwave and quick. It's quick and microwavable. No, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm going to wash a little dishes. And then after I wash a little dishes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to dry the dishes. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to work hard. Everything is quick. And anything in life that you get quick, that's just how long it's going to last. Quick. And we not teaching our kids that. And then they go out there. They want the fast life. They want all the glitz and glamour they see on social media. That's why social media don't blow up, because everybody got this facade on social media. They got this and that, and half of them people that's on Instagram and Facebook and all that facading about this glamour, they really not living their lives. A lot of that is facade. Is what you see, is what you get. And then you looking at that person, I want that. Look what they driving. And then you don't even know if that's a rental. You don't even know if they really got that, but you just see it because that's what you're thinking. How about trying to earn all those good things in life and just work hard, saving, and making sure your life is basically what it is. So I'm going to just see if we got any questions, and I want y'all to get on that financial literacy. My producer, she teach financial literacy, and y'all could always reach her. She teach on that. Matter of fact, she teach teenagers, which is so important because they in high school and they going out in the workforce. And I think we need to teach them that. And us as grown people, don't be so shocked to say you don't know. Hell, I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't know. I just told y'all I learned financial literacy by failing, getting back up, falling, getting back up, making up in my mind, I don't want to fail like this no more. That falling feels so good. So how do I not make that same fall again? That's how I learned. But we got to admit to ourselves, a lot of us, and 90% of us, are not where we want to be because our financial life is in shambles. And why? Because we put ourselves in it. Ain't nobody put you in that. You put yourself in it because of decisions. We either wanted more, how the old people used to say, you got champagne taste, but you got beer money. A lot of us are like that. We ain't got the money, but we want people to think we got it, and we want to live above where we at. Where you see me at, I'm 57 years old. It took me a long time to get here. And was it a struggle? Yes, it was. I ain't cut no corners. I went through it the hard way. And that's what's wrong with a lot of our generation. Nobody want to work hard. Everybody want to quit. And you'll take it from somebody else's mouth or either take it from somebody else's life. You'll take somebody else's life just to get it. It's crazy. So finances could be great, and then sometimes it could be not so great. But I always say to people, I mean, if you pray and ask God to take you to do it the right way, you can save, you could build a good financial future. But sometimes you may need to talk to somebody. I talk to bankers. I talk to millionaires that's super way richer than I am, and they got this and they got that. And I learn from them. That's why I was able to tell you that rich people do not spend their money. They use the bank money. Where I got that from? I got that from the bank. I had the bank to tell me that. When my credit was bad, I wouldn't say bad. My credit was getting denied. The head of the bank told me your credit good, but you got too many credit cards and they all maxed up to the end. But these people that's fixing your credit telling you to get this card, that ain't good. That's not good all the time. That's because you're not taught right. Because I was told just have good credit and your credit score will be good. Your credit score is based on ratio. You could have 5 credit cards and all them things maxed to the limit. Ain't nobody gonna give you a damn thing because you're a risk. If you got 5 credit cards and every one of them maxed to the limit, you become a risk to the bank. And a lot of people don't know that. I had to learn that. Where I learned it from? The bank. I went into the bank and I was like, why am I being denied? I had to be, the president of the bank knew me. I build relationships with people. I build financial relationships. I've been with the same bank like as long as I've been in my funeral home. And he told me, come on, Lori. He pulled up my credit profile. You got this, you got this, you got this, you got all R1s. Oh, girl, you paying your bill. I said, well, why I can't get a damn thing? Because all of them maxed up. You know what that tell her? You a risk. Because why should your credit card be that high? The ratio, the debt ratio on your credit card should not be that high. If you got $5,000, you should not be over 30% of that card. You should not. And if you get over 50%, you need to pay it before the next paying cycle. Hard Knocks taught me that, but we're not taught that. These credit companies, girl, you go get that credit card, you go get that. And I be like, wow, like really? And I don't say nothing, I just teach my children better, but that's what we don't understand. Because as soon as you go in the car lot, you done bought this car for $30,000 and you probably, the interest rate 20, oh, I got my car. Like, did you really look at that interest rate? You paying for that car 2 or 3 times because we don't know. Because what we doing, we buying and we doing things for the look and the acceptance of people instead of being satisfied with the way our financial future is structured. So we need to take up some classes. I'm to the point, I'm never too big to learn. That's how I learned all this financial stuff, because I learned it through getting relationships with financial institutions around people. And when I heard Ms. Foster had a financial literacy class, I was like, where they do that at? Because I know all the African-American schools around in where I grew up at, what program they got? And that's something you teach people history, but nowadays it's good to know history, but history ain't gonna get you nowhere. Balancing your money financially gonna get you. So now history, don't mistake me, history is good. We celebrate Black History Month. That's good. Well, how about celebrating this month, which is Financial Month? How about celebrating that? And not only celebrating, embracing it and learning from it. I mean, if I had to put things over, people give us 28 days in February to be black. Hell, I'm black all year round. Now, is that important? That's fine. I know my heritage. I know back the struggle. I know my ancestors. But how about putting some financial literacy up under me that I could make better choices for the legacy that I got to leave my children and my grandchildren? And a lot of times we not taught that, but we can't keep using that as an excuse. We got to teach ourselves. So with that being said, I'm going to see if y'all got some questions for me. We got about a few more minutes, and I need to see some questions.
It was one, Naya asked, would you be willing to teach a class?
She say what now?
Would you be willing to teach a class?
Oh, Ms. Johnson, yeah, I would. Basically, anybody that's surrounding my company, Ms. Johnson, know, even in the funeral home, I teach people that about credit, everything like that. But I'm going to teach you from Hard Knocks University, because I think the best learning is hands-on learning. And I think you can't learn until you fail and then you learn. So, any knowledge that God has given me to share with people, I will give it to people. But you got to have an open mind to be able to have this, because when I started off 14 years ago in my fruit home, my credit score wasn't where it was. I was driving in an IS 250 Lexus. That was, Charlie. Yeah. And I was making money. I ain't had a smart that I had. I had done went to school, got 2 degrees. I took up a finance class, but it was accounting to teach you how to put your assets and your debits together and this and that. It came when, hard knocks started slapping me across the head. But then I changed my direction because I wanted better for me. First, I wanted better for me before I could be better for my family. So, yes, I'll be more than willing to do that.
So how do you change your mindset about money?
To me, I feel like you could change your mindset about money. Stop saying what you can't do. Stop saying I can't save. That's the biggest thing that we do. I can't save. Why? You go buy a pair of shoes, you already got a pair of shoes. I didn't know how many shoes I had till I moved. I didn't know how many clothes I had. Some of that stuff that you're investing in, stop buying a little bit of that a while. What you do is set goals for yourself. Test yourself. I'm going to save $100 a month. And you know what? When you save and you got saving, boy, it make you feel good. Oh, I got me a little. It make you feel good about yourself. Change your mind. And stop saying what you can't do. And do one thing. Try it. And if it fails, you come back to me. But I guarantee you, you won't fail. All you got to do is try it. Just try it. Just try saving. If it's $20 and just put it somewhere. Even if you don't put it in a bank, put it somewhere that you know you ain't going to touch it. And then pray and ask God to give you a mindset of, I can't do this. I'm going to try. You can't do nothing in life unless you try.
So this is just a tip. Put it in a bank where you don't have a debit card.
Put it in a bank to what?
A bank without a debit card.
Yep. Well, I think and that's a good thing for somebody that can control your finances. It's false to say put it in the bank without a debit card. But I feel like if you structured enough, you can have a debit card if you're strong enough not to touch it. See, I'm strong enough, but I know everybody not there, because you have to challenge yourself. It's just like when you want to go, I'm going to use it for instance, when you want to go to a concert and you want to buy that outfit, you save that money enough and you don't touch that because you know you want to buy that bad dress for this bad event, and you want to go see Jay-Z and Beyonce in concert. You spend $200-300 going to see Beyonce and Jay-Z. What you do, you swipe your debit card to go buy that concert ticket. And guess what? You structured yourself for that. Anything you want in life, you got to structure it, believe it, and claim it. But you got to put footsteps behind it. To me, a debit card is good. I agree with Ms. Foster, for somebody that in doubt of themselves. But this ain't the type of podcast I got. You can't doubt yourself. You can do it. You just got to change it. I can have a debit card and don't even touch it. Why? Because my goal is that. And I challenge myself because I want to. Let me tell y'all something. There's no greater gift from God than health and having financial freedom. Y'all take that from me. I'm a living example. I'm blessed from God. My health probably ain't 100, but I can tell you one thing. Having financial freedom is one of the greatest gifts that man could experience. You will never understand if you ain't there, but you ain't going to get there unless you start making little small babies. A baby crawl before they walk before they run. You ain't going to never do it if you just want to run and you don't want to take no steps to it. You have to, I'm just so point when it comes to finances, I just look at people. Because we can do it. And it's not hard. And people may say to me, well, it ain't hard to you, Ms. Davis, because you got money. You think the hell I was like this? When I opened up my funeral home, I didn't have a bank loan. Ain't nobody did nothing. Ain't nobody, mama, them, nothing. My mama stood beside me and helped me with the little she had. You know what I did? My faith was greater than my money. That's why I'm sitting here today. That's why I can tell you that. I had a whole lot of faith because I saw it, but I had to believe God, put this away, put this away, put this away. Sometimes I be saving money so much, I be forgetting I put away money. I be hiding it from myself like grandmama them used to do, and you can do it. Yeah, you want to go to the bank and do it, that's fine. But you got to have a made up mind here and here that I'm not going to touch this money. I'm going to put away, and then give yourself a grace period. Even if it's 6 months, I'm going to see how much I can save. And then when you get there in 6 months, you'll be like, wow, that 6 months is going to be 12 months. But you got to believe in yourself. It just don't tell yourself. I think the biggest thing for all of us, whether it's our finances, whether it's our self-esteem, no matter what we do with our children, everything, is telling yourself you can do it. You gotta sell it to yourself. You gotta tell it to yourself. I don't even care if you don't see it. You gotta be telling it to yourself like it's really that way, and it ain't even that way. But you gotta believe it, and it could change. So some of y'all do need debit card, but
But no debit card is a baby step.
Yeah, but if you really want the money and you ain't structured in your mind, I'm gonna use what you said. Say I don't have a debit card. I just can't go to the bank, but I can still go get that money. So what you gotta change first? Your mindset.
You definitely got to change your mindset, but you even got to change your mindset to not have a debit card and to the debit card. And I'm just telling you what I teach my teenagers. The bank should not be a bank that's accessible, that's an easy accessible. Because the thing about debit cards is now we're trained to just take our debit card and swipe it on Amazon and so the point of not having a debit card initially to save the money is so that you can see your money grow. Most people
I think with teenagers,
relationship with money.
I think that, and that's why they broke,
Right.
because they have bad relationship with money. But to me, I see your goal. You dealing with teenagers, and I'm basically.
The teenagers grow up to be adults and they still have the same mindset. Bad relationship with money.
Yeah, but I think that's a good vehicle, what you just said about not having a debit card. But the way these teenagers is, they could go online. They computer savvy. They computer smart. They could get their account number.
But it's a different account. You should have more than one account.
Yep, and I agree. I just think your will or your desire to do better financially should be greater than anything, and that's good.
That happens over time.
Yep.
You know, everybody don't have it initially, and when you compare swiping a ticket for getting a concert and then compare saving money is not the same because it don't even give you initially the same feeling, which is instant gratification. It don't give you the same instant gratification. When I go buy a concert ticket, it's giving me instant gratification. Saving money not giving me instant gratification until I understand the value of it.
Exactly. But you got to be taught the value. You got to be taught. That's what I'm saying. When I say value, my value is like I'm setting up myself to know if I'm doing what I got to do, I'm gonna have financial freedom where I don't have to struggle. That's value, and value is like you say, buying a concert ticket give me instant gratification, but that's for most people. Because me, I get instant gratification knowing I got a savings account, so I'm just different. Right. To me, when I could save money, I be like, ooh, that's a high to me. So what people getting high off of? To me, I get high off of making money, saving money, and doing all that. So where's your value? Because we know money is the vehicle to all these things. Right. So if your vehicle to money, and you know this is the way I got to obtain it, whether it's instant or long term, that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We want to get high too quick.
Right. Our values are
We want to get high too quick. Right. Instead of us saying, I want to get high, but there's a process of getting there. That's like all these people that they look up to, they wasn't always there. So it was a process. So what we do, we want to live this instant life and this and that. And just like you said, they want an instant gratification. That's why a lot of us in the financial situation we're in, because we want things instant. Ain't nobody getting rich off your instant tickets but Beyonce and Jay-Z. And all these actors and everything, they getting rich off of your instant gratification. Why not get rich off of your own instant gratification? They say, I'm going to do this I'm not going to let nobody get, and guess what? The class that you teach is good to get them young, because if you could change somebody's mind young, you ain't got to get my age trying to learn it, because the older you get, the harder that shit is for you to learn. It's hard for you to learn when you've been accustomed and trained and stuff. They're just like people in life. We've been living off a tradition all of our lives. Me and you were just talking about this. You get out of school, you go to college, you get married and have kids. What Bible wrote that?
And everything we was taught us how to spend money. Go to school, that's spending money. We get a job, but then we go buy a house. Spend money. We get a job, we go buy a car. Spend money.
Not one time in there it say save.
Not one.
Not one time did it say save. So guess what? I went the traditional way and I taught my kids that I had to get grown and get a business. That's not the American way. You see all these, I'm saying rich billionaires. I'm sitting up there around people that got millions, make my millions look like puke. And what they do, y'all think credit ain't important. Y'all think a big bank account, it's good to have a big bank account, but what's more important? If I had to choose credit over money, I'm gonna try credit, because credit gonna make me money. Money don't make credit. And that's what we got it sidetracked. Oh, I'm gonna get money because money gonna do this. Yes, money do all this, but credit takes you further with money than anything. You go buy a house, what they asking you? What's your social security number? You go buy a car, what's your social security number? You even go into the hospital these days, they want to know your insurance card. What's your social security number? You go cash in a life insurance policy. What's your social security number? Your social security number follow you for the rest of your life. Let it define you in a positive way. People's social security number follow them. You can't go nowhere. You go for a doctor's appointment. Can I have your insurance card? What's the last four digits of your social security number? So what I'm trying to say is good that you teach them on a young scale. That's very good that they got to learn something. But they have to change their mindset. Look at me, as old as I am, I had to change my mindset. What taught me to change my mindset? Failure. And failure is not always bad. That's why I tell people when they fail in something, it's not you failing, it's you staying down there and you fail. Like when I failed, I called one of my banker ladies and I started whining to her how I lost this $50,000. She said she was just as cold. Well, at least you learned it in the beginning until you got all the way down. I didn't want to hear that, but failure. So guess what? I said I won't make that mistake no more. I started reading documents. You heard what I said to you. I need to see the contract. I need to see this. I start doing things that didn't make me make the same thing. We got to change our mind. And black people, all we want to do is survive. We don't want to make it. And there's a difference between survival and making it. I want to survive, but I want to make it. And I don't want to just be living to survive. I want to be living it to make it. Living the American dream. House, car. Like my sister said on her podcast, she wanted to be rich. How you get rich? It's not just surviving. God didn't put us here just to survive. The vehicle is money. But he put us here to live a fruitful life. He said, leave your legacy. How are we going to leave something if our own financial shit is jacked up? We ain't leaving nobody nothing. We jacked up. So we got to learn and we got to teach, and that's what we do. I just get so hard feel when I talk about finances, because I think 90% when I was in a shamble, I put myself in. I get so hard feel about these topics because I know we could do better. I know we could save. I know we could do this. I know it to the point I don't even know you, but I know you could do it. But you got to change this. You got to change this. You got to stick with it. And I know you could do it. Because if I did it, you could do it. Ain't nothing in my life that I did that you cannot do. God didn't love me no more than he loved you. You ain't got no more sins than what I got. So people say, oh, God said he reign on the just as well as the unjust. Hell, I ain't sitting up here. Don't you ever think I'm sitting up here without sin. Because boy, if my inner mind can talk. I told a lady the other day, and I made a joke about it. She said, what you think about cremation? I ain't got nothing against it. I think people do what they do. That's a religious person. I told her I wouldn't choose it because I don't know if I'm going to be burned twice. And that was my mortician's joke. Hell, I don't know if I'm going to hell and I got to burn twice. And I made it. The lady started laughing when she walked out. She said, Miss Davis, you ain't going to have to go through that. I said, I know. That's just my joke. Meaning I'm no better person than you. I just changed my mind and I try to put it in the heart of you guys because I know it worked. I am a living example. I was not always with money. I was robbing 2 Peters to pay Paul. I couldn't wait to January come to file my tax return. I was so much in debt in the last year. Then when I get these taxes, I'm going to pay these bills. A lot of y'all be gravitating for them taxes because you're paying your past bills. That tax money should be for you to invest and put something away. But I didn't have a mindset. I was living. I was existing, but I was not living. You're not living. You're not living if you worried about your financial situation all the time. You're not. You're existing. You want to live financial freedom. And financial freedom can be to every man. It may not be on different levels because there's different levels of financial freedom. But you can have that where you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay your bill. Just make smarter financial decisions. So I'm really heartfelt. Thank y'all for so much joining in on Miss Foster always tell me I get so emotional. Y'all don't know I get deep about this. Even like I had one of the ladies when I did the self-esteem issue. So many people applauded me about that, and one lady said, well, I wouldn't be talking about it. I said, that's you. I'm delivered. I'm set free, baby. You can't touch me about nothing. Because when I talk about these segments and I talk about what I'm telling y'all, everything I talk about, I have lived it. Period. And I'm delivered. So I could talk to you about that. And guess what? I'm still pushing to make better financial decisions. Still, I set goals for myself. If I made $5 million last year, even if I make $5,100,000, I don't never want it to go down. And if it do, it bothers me. So I start doing searching. And I stay on my knees with prayer. So don't ever think that I'm doing anything different than you all. The only thing different from me, I believe in myself. And one thing about it, I know I can do it. So I know if I can do it, you can do it. Thank you for tuning in another moment of Don't Tell Me You Can't Do It. I appreciate y'all joining in, tag, sharing, like. I thank y'all for all the questions. And believe me, God finna take this segment somewhere. And like Ms. Johnson came on, we're going to be teaching a whole lot of classes. But one thing about my class is uncut and unreal. Don't come to me with all these scriptures and all this and all this. If you ain't live it, you can't talk about it. If you live it, then you could talk about it to me. Y'all be good and be blessed. And remember, don't tell me you can't do it.